Just a fair warning, this topic is going to be quite depressing and you don't have to watch it unless it is something specific I need you to hear, which most likely I've already told you. So that's being said. Hey guys, it's Bryson, and for this week I want to talk about depression just because it's been affecting me a lot this week and it's something that needs to be vocalized, and I can't vocalize it to anybody else because nobody else listens. So I'm gonna vocalize it to you guys because you're gonna listen because you're watching my videos. Depression. For a lot of people it's different. For a lot of people, depression can't really be described. Basically what happens is there's a chemical in your brain. It's called serotonin. It is known as the happy chemical. It's an endorphin that your brain releases to give you the proper emotions of happiness and to be able to motivate you to do several things throughout your life. Because when you're happy, you're able to do things that are necessary, and that is something that your body wants you to do. So when it comes to depression, there's not enough serotonin running through your body. Your brain is not releasing enough of those endorphins. And it puts you into a state where you don't want to do things, where you don't feel like you have to do things, and where sadness comes into play, which is part of the problem. People use depression as one of those, oh, I'm depressed today situations. Depression is not like that. Depression is an ongoing thing from the moment that you are diagnosed or beforehand to the rest of your life. You have to deal with it throughout your life. Not everybody is going to be clinically depressed. Not everybody is going to go and see help for their depression. Some people self-medicate themselves with depression. That's perfectly fine. But when it comes to depression, it's an ongoing battle. As I've heard people describe it, it's an inner demon you have to deal with, but I don't feel like that's a proper description, just because in my experience it's not a demon. It's just a weight, an inner weight within you that is trying to pull you down. So a little personal background from me. I'm clinically depressed. I am also clinically diagnosed with anxiety. Both of those going hand in hand is a lot to have to deal with, because when it comes to anxiety, I worry about everything. I'm freaked out, I have panic attacks. I need to make sure that things happen so that my anxiety goes away, but when it comes to depression, I don't have the willpower to do so. So let's put it this way. One day, I'm having a really bad day. I'm depressed and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just going to try and sleep. But then my anxiety kicks in. You need to make sure you get all this stuff done because it's necessary, it needs to be done. What are you doing? Being diagnosed with both fucking sucks. And most of the time, when you are diagnosed with one, you're usually diagnosed with the other. Because if it gets you into the hospital, it's usually because of both. I, have tried to attempt suicide plenty of times. And the one time that means the most is when I actually got into the hospital due to it and was put through a therapeutic inpatient program that helped me get back on my feet. I'm thankful to those people so very much for what they have done for me, but it also kind of screwed me over because, let me put it this way for you guys. Depression and depression medications. With depression medications do about 50% of the work for you. They get those levels back up to where they probably should be. Enough for you to be able to work to get the other 50% up, to be able to get you to be 100% okay. So, you take your meds on a daily basis to make sure that that 50% is always there, so that you're never going to have to worry about not having it. So we take this medication every day. We take it every day. But not every day is that other 50% there. Maybe it's 25% one day. Maybe it's like 60% and you're doing well beyond happy. And then maybe it's not even there at all. There are days when I don't have that 50% in me. I take my medications, but yet I still end up in the same goddamn hole that I started in. It's an ongoing process. Things can put you into a certain state. Things that upset me sometimes push me a little bit too far over the edge. And if it's consecutive things, it fucks with my anxiety as well. When I'm fucked up with anxiety and I'm fucked up with depression, I am done. I'm on the floor. Yesterday I had to call the crisis hotline to be able to calm myself down because I couldn't handle all the thoughts running through my head. I thought I was going to harm myself. I didn't because I called the hotline. But if I wouldn't have known about that hotline, I would have ended up doing so. What got me that far is what we're going to talk about now. Misgendering is a big problem with me at this point. And it's not even accidental misgendering because I don't care about that. I don't care that you accidentally misgendered me. It's okay. I understand, and I'm not going to be too pissed off at the fact that you accidentally called me a female. But when you refuse to do so, and you refuse to use my correct name, and you refuse, just the refusal is what gets me upset. And I've had a lot of the refusal this past week. I've also had a lot of bottom dysphoria, which is what we're going to also talk about. My packer came in the mail not too long ago. I'm very happy that it did, but previously, before it was with me, I had a lot of bottom dysphoria. That's not something that can be fixed with words. I can't just talk to somebody and be like, I'm really bottom dysphoric, and then be like, oh, but I love you, you're perfect anyways. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you love me anyways. I don't care if I'm perfect to you. I still hate what's in my pants, and I want it gone. Or I want the replacement to be here to help me not worry about it. Because when I'm wearing the packer, I'm perfectly fine. I have a great fucking day. I walk around like I'm fucking perfect. And I know I'm not, but I feel better that way. I feel like a man. When we talk about my packer though, we're gonna talk about it as a prosthetic. We're not gonna call it a rubber penis because it is not just that. It's not being just used for sex purposes. It's not a dildo. It's not a strap-on. And how I have sex with my partner is my business only. So when you go up to somebody who I am dating and ask how we're gonna have sex and ask if they're gonna be fucked with a rubber penis, that pisses me off. Pisses me off. Because that's not all it is to me. I wasn't born with the proper part. I wasn't born with that penis. If I was, I wouldn't need it. I wouldn't need to have what is strapped to my body. I wouldn't need to be dysphoric. No. Do not out me. At some point in my life, I want to go stealth. I want to be a guy and just a guy. I don't want to be a trans guy. I want to be a guy. The whole point of me going through this transition is for me to one day not have to worry about being called trans. One day for me to go from girl to guy. And yes, I'm halfway in between right now, and I understand that, but we do not need to let know every single person that I am transgender. Because that shit pisses me off to no end. If I want to tell somebody, I'ma do it. I'ma be the one to tell them that I am trans, because then I trust them enough. The only people that should really know what is in my pants are the people I'm dating and the people that grew up with me, being my parents and other family members. They are the only ones that need to know. I have exes, they know. Because at one point, I trusted them and I was able to talk with them about it. A lot of those exes are still my friends. I have 2 of my exes, 3 of my exes that are still my friends, that know about me not having the proper parts. And they still call me Bryson, they still call me a he, they still do all these things for me. And yes, that does include people who have made mistakes in the past and have apologized for it, and I have forgiven them. But I'm friends with these people because they are kick-ass people who know how to treat me. So, I I don't want people knowing that I am trans. That is not your business to share. That is mine. If we dated, it's still my business. If people ask you while you are dating me about me and if I'm trans, you direct those people to me. Because I can answer that question for them. And if they don't like my answer of fuck off, you don't need to know, then they're just gonna have to fucking deal with it, because that's the only answer they're gonna get. Because you're not going to share that information. It's not yours to share. As far as I'm concerned, if you're dating me, you're dating a guy. That's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be known. So there. My frustration has reached its peak. Not only has that been on my mind all week, but my depression has been fucking up my head. So it's ended a relationship that I thought might possibly work out, but it's not going to anymore, and I realize that now. I can't keep doing this with people. I can't keep dealing with all of this, because at some point I'm going to end up in the ground. But needless to say, I have voiced my opinion, and I have said what needs to be said. And if anybody has a problem with it, they can come to me and tell me that, because I'm done. I'm done dealing with it. I'm pissed beyond belief. So, if you like this video, you can give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you better be fucking careful with what you say to me, because hate is going to be completely erased. Then you can hit me up at my Tumblr, and you can chat with me. If you're nice, I'm a nice dude. I am a pleasant dude. I'm a cool person to be around. I'm really not this angry all the time. But this video just needed to be said, and it needed to be heard by how angry I am, so there you go. Other than that, I'll see you guys.